Hello guys, welcome to Peace Talk. This is a channel where we talk about businesses. We give you tips and insights on how to run, start and manage your business. We also talk about online courses, and we have been doing a series on anger management. And on this video, we are going to be talking about how to express anger. And when we're talking about expressing anger, it can be expressed in two ways, either verbally or non-verbally. And verbally, when talking about verbally, this is when a person expresses their anger verbally, and you're likely to see them raise their voice. They might be insulting and say hurtful things in their anger, if the anger is directed to a person. And then you have non-verbally. This is when you notice that someone there's some slight physical changes in the person who expresses their anger non-verbally. So you find that they might frown or scowl, or they just clench their jaws or they fist. They also sometimes they may lash out at another person or an object, or sometimes you find that this one causes physical damage to the person or the object, and in some cases it can be hurting. Some cases you find that people who have with anger management issues, they hurt themselves. So the two ways of expressing anger, they are not mutually exclusive, and it's possible to see a person expressing anger in both ways. And then when we're talking about the treatment, when we're talking about anger issues and treatment, so even that anger, we have said, you have kept emphasizing it's a normal emotion that we all feel, and for most people they find ways to express it in a healthy way. And however, we find that some people, they need treatment, and the most common way to treat excessive anger is therapy. And when talking about therapy, so we find that most people, it is easy to identify their triggers and emotions behind their anger, but some people experience anger suddenly and intensely, even without being able to curb it or identify the triggers behind it. And so if you're experiencing frequency and intense burnouts or bursts of angers that are causing physical and emotional damage to your people or people around you, then you need to know that you need professional help in dealing with your anger. So anger management therapy is used to help you learn healthy ways to cope with your emotion. And when talking about coping, we find that finding ways to cope with anger is very important. When we allow anger to take control of our lives, it affects everything we do, and it can damage even relationship with loved ones and cause problems in our workplace. So if you've been finding it hard to keep up with your anger, to keep your anger or keep your anger in check, and even in most situations, so you find that you need a coping mechanism that can help. And when talking about the coping mechanism, they are if you've been finding it difficult to keep your anger in check, and in certain situations, they are here. We're going to list some couple of coping mechanisms that you can use. And number one, you need to identify the cause. And the first step to coping with anger is to identify the root of your anger. And it would be another emotion. It could be another emotion, maybe one of fear or maybe loneliness. It could be an altercation you had and a pleasant thought that came to your mind. And then the next thing, you need to meditate. So meditate is a very beneficial in helping to control your human emotions. And you can start with simple meditation techniques like deep breathing exercises. And when faced with a situation that makes you angry, take a second before reacting. You can take several deep breaths to calm yourself, to try to count until you feel yourself becoming calmer. And then another thing we have said, you can work out, and exercising isn't just great for your physical health, it's also beneficial for your mental health. And we have said it's always a way to channel your emotions like anger in a useful and a productive way. So going for a quick run or a swim when you're angry can help you diffuse the emotion. And then another thing is let it out. Don't bottle your anger up. Expressing your anger when you feel it is the healthiest way to actually go through it. So bottling up the emotion is likely cause a sudden and a very intense outburst when you least expect it. And then another thing is avoid triggers, because if you're quick to become angry, it is useful to identify and avoid your triggers. And we have said that we are often triggered by maybe when you're having a conversation with a particular person or a particular topic. If you are triggered by that, you need to avoid that topic or avoid those people, and until you have learned how to better control your anger. So those are some of the ways that you can actually express your anger, and how therapy and coping comes in handy. I hope you have learned a thing or two. If you've learned something, leave it in the comment section and I'll be sure to read it out. Make sure at the end of this video you like, you comment, you subscribe, share, hit on the notification button so that every time I upload a new video you can always be notified. And if you're interested in learning about income management, you can do this at Finstock University College. Visit their website at www.finstockuniversity.com or call them at 0703 313 722 or send them an email at info@finstockuniversity.com. Until next time, goodbye.